Welcome Between Us. I'm your host Joe Chap, and I'm doing this on behalf of the Victors podcast. They do a great job. Chad and Jordan do a great job. I'll put the link below. But Jim Harbaugh. Every year there's a cycle in the NFL where coaches get fired, and Jim Harbaugh's name is usually brought up because he is successful as a coach. He went to the NFC Championship a couple times. He went to the Super Bowl, lost, but he still went. There's a lot of coaches that don't even sniff an NFC Championship game. He's got to the playoffs twice at Michigan. He's turned it around. Why would he leave? Like that's what people are, saying and all that. Why would he leave? Well, John U. Bacon had a great tweet, and if you don't know John U. Bacon is, he's a guy who is a great insider for Michigan football. Not just insider, but a guy who wrote books on the University of Michigan football, and Michigan hockey and all that stuff. This is what he tweeted out. He said, "From good sources, the possibility of Harbaugh leaving for the NFL is real. Could even happen fast. Nothing final, but if he goes, it would not be because of money, NIL, or control, or just about anything regarding the University of Michigan, but his growing frustration with college football itself." Now, I want you to take that last line, his growing frustration with college football itself. Here's the thing. A lot of these coaches that we have come to know are leaving. Mike Krzyzewski left. Williams at North Carolina left. Jay Wright left. Now you could potentially see Jim Harbaugh leave. What we're seeing right now in college sports is a little bit asinine because what NIL was supposed to bring and supposed to be, it is not. Here's the thing. If you go to the NFL, it's organized. Everyone has a fair shot. Everyone's gonna get a easy shot. There's a draft, a free agency, there's cap, whatever. In NIL and specifically the transfer portal, it's a totally different ballgame. Everyone's playing by different rules. I mean, if you're in Michigan, you're playing from different rules in Texas, and if you're in Texas, you're playing from different rules in Florida, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, Michigan had a recruit who was committed to them, and he suddenly decommitted and went to Miami. Now, there's tons of examples of a player that was committed to a program that decommitted, and the large majority of people think, yeah, he just got the bag. And that's what's happening in college football. And since there is no governing body in college football right now, I mean, the NCAA, they might as well be dead because what they have been doing is they have not been doing anything, absolutely nothing. And if I was Jim Harbaugh and I had a chance to leave for the NFL, would I leave? Yeah, because if I'm being honest with myself, there is no ground rules to college football. There is no rules that are going to keep you, at the same level. When this NIL was legislated, put in the game, it was supposed to be for good things. The player was going to make money off his image and likeness. Now what's happening is these players are literally getting paid and bought for. Now, it's fine for the players. It's great for the players. But what's happening right now is if you're a college football coach, it makes you harder to run the program. And with the transfer portal, the players that are transferring out and transferring in, it's like a recruiting cycle all 365, 24/7. And if you're a coach like Jim Harbaugh, you just want to coach. We can all admit that Jim Harbaugh is a football guy. And I think I think he's one of those guys that is becoming tired of being in a sport that's changing so much, that's organized so little, that why would he stay? Well, I don't think that Jim Harbaugh is leaving by any means, especially if he leaves for the Denver Broncos, because let's be honest with ourselves. The Denver Broncos is like getting a job at Dollar General. I mean, there's nothing there. You're going to a quarterback who's wasted. You're going to a team that's kind of junky. I mean, if you're going to say what teams really have a legitimate shot for Jim Harbaugh, the Colts, the Panthers. I think those are two teams that legitimately have a shot. Obviously, they both need quarterbacks, but listen, I think they have the opportunity to pick a quarterback in this draft. But listen, if Jim Harbaugh leaves, I totally believe that's because of what's happening in college football right now. We could talk about college football and how it's changed. It's changed dramatically from what it once was. Dramatically. And it's kind of sad to see, but the price of what's happening with college football, college sports in general, with NIL, with the transfer portal, I think there's going to be a lot of coaches like Jim Harbaugh, like Mike Krzyzewski, like Williams in North Carolina, like Jay Wright, that are going to leave in droves. And it's going to take a special person to deal with college football because it's easy in the NFL because you have a general manager, you're just asked to go coach, right? In college football, you are the CEO of the program. You have to deal with everything that's coming along. And honestly, I'm beginning to think if you have a shot at becoming an NFL coach and you're in college, you're going to take that 10 times out of 10. Because what college football has become, college sports in general has become, is unorganized garbage. And we can thank the NCAA for that. It's one thing after another. In this John U. Bacon tweet says it all. It says it all. His growing frustration with college football itself. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So, do I think Jim Harbaugh is going to leave for the NFL? I don't. I really don't. But do I? If John U. Bacon is saying this, I kind of think it's a little bit different this time. So that's going to be interesting to see. We'll learn more about it. Subscribe to the Victors on below, and we will be giving you Michigan football, Michigan basketball stuff coming up soon. So stay tuned for that on Between the Whistles Detroit, your hometown team.